Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Indah Lestari, class 12, MIPA 6. I'm here to do a Koloid Praktikum. Actually, what is meant by Koloid? Koloids are heterogeneous mixtures of two or more substances in which the particle of a substance measuring between 1 and 1000 nanometer are evenly distributed in the medium of the other substance. What types of colloid will describe? Salt-type colloid is a type of colloid whose dispersed phase is solid, while the dispersing medium is liquid or solid. What properties will be used to prove that the mixed solution is colloid? I'm going to use the Tyndall effect property. Then what is the Tyndall effect? The Tyndall effect is a symptom of the scattering of light beams by colloidal particles. This is due to the size of the colloid molecules, which are quite large. The Tyndall effect was discovered by John Tyndall, an English physicist. The method of making colloids can be divided into two types, namely the condensation method, namely the method of forming colloids through the process of clumping the solution particles into colloid particles, and the dispersion method is the opposite of condensation, namely by reducing the suspension particles to colloidal particles. And here I will make a salt-type colloids by means of condensation. There are tools here. First, 3 stirrers, 3 glasses, and flashlight. While for material, first sugar, second powdered milk, and third coffee, and lastly there is water. First of all, I will do the first experiment. The first step is to put enough sugar into the glass. And pour the water, then stir until evenly distributed. When finished, I immediately proceeded to do the second experiment. Put the milk in a glass too and pour the water. And pour the water. Then stir until blended. And finally, I will do the third experiment. Put the coffee in a glass. And pour water and then stir until blended. Let's look at the number of phases that are physically visible using the eye senses directly. In glass 1, there is a clear and stable homogeneous phase. Here it appears that there is no separation of the phase or the precipitate. In the second glass, there is only one phase, even though there are actually two or more phases, but the turbidity looks stable, but this mixture can be released due to heating and cooling process. And in the triple mirror, it appears to consist of two heterogeneous phases that separate slowly and appear unstable. After saying the phase separation and stability, let's take a look at the Tyndall effect. In the glass 1, clearly visible light can be continued on the other side of the glass. The Tyndall effect shown here is not visible. This is the nature of the solution. In the glass 2, light cannot pass through the other side of the glass, but it is refracted in all directions by particles. Invisible particles appear as bright dots, and this indicates that glass 2 is colloid. And on the glass, the 3 light from the flashlight cannot be missed on the other side of the glass. This is a characteristic of suspension. From the observation we have done, it can be concluded that the mixture of sugar and water is a solution. The mixture of powdered milk and water is colloid, and the mixture of ground coffee and water is a suspension. Other examples of solution are salt and water, then syrup and water. Other examples of colloid are pudding or jelly, oil, coconut milk, foam, and other examples of suspension are flour and water. This is an example of the nature of the Tyndall effect in distinguishing between solution. Colloids and suspension is everyday life. Hopefully useful. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.